What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video, and step 1 of 2 of the NHL Expansion Draft has officially been completed. All teams in the NHL, except for the Vegas Golden Knights, who are for some reason exempt from this expansion draft, have submitted their protection list from the Seattle Kraken. So now there's no more speculation about who's going to be protected, who's going to be available. We don't have to speculate anymore. The lists are finally out, and I can't wait to see who the Seattle Kraken decide to take from each and every team in the NHL come Wednesday night. But before the expansion draft does come around, I do have a couple things I wanted to talk about since the lists have been officially revealed. But before we get into all of that, you guys know the drill around here. Mott's applesauce, if you're ever hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be, Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfaction you're looking to satisfy, and you have the Caveman guarantee. By the way, don't mind the hat. I'm not sure why I decided to go with the hat instead of my bandanas for today. I don't have a true answer for it. It's just what I was feeling. But before we get into the expansion list for all the other NHL teams, I of course want to cover the hometown squad, the Buffalo Sabres, and I want to talk about the list that they revealed today. So I'll throw the official list right up here on screen. As of the last couple days, this is the list that everybody suspected would be released. Since Skinner did waive his no-move clause, we were able to protect both Tage Thompson as well as Rasmus Asplund. That was a big talking point before we knew whether or not that was going to get waived, so that was a big help. So thank you to Jeff Skinner for that. And unfortunately for myself, the prediction video that I made came before he waived his no-move clause. So once that no-move clause was waived, some things were really shaken up. So my predictions were kind of thrown out the window as soon as Jeff Skinner decided to waive that. So my predictions were relatively incorrect. Not that they were going to be right anyway, because, you know, I don't get jack shit right. Let's be real here. After Jeff Skinner waived his NMC, the focus shifted toward the defenseman because we were awaiting a Rasmus Ristolainen trade. According to Darren Dreger, the interest really started to pick up right before the freeze happened. Us Sabres fans were really hoping that Ristolainen was going to get moved before the freeze happened because we have been wanting to protect and hold on to the young defenseman Will Borgen. We do not want to lose Will Borgen. We were hoping that we could get rid of Ristolainen, we could trade him away, get some value back for him before the freeze happened, therefore we could protect Will Borgen over Rasmus Ristolainen. So obviously and unfortunately, Rasmus Ristolainen did not get traded, therefore he has been protected by the Buffalo Sabres and Will Borgen is available. Once we accepted this reality as a fan base, we have come to the conclusion that if we are protecting Ristolainen, there must be a trade on the way. We decided to protect him because we know we're going to be able to trade him post-expansion. We got to trade him post-expansion for this to work. Because I truly do think that Borgen is going to be the guy that the Seattle Kraken target from the Buffalo Sabres. So if we are protecting Ristolainen, I would hope it's for good reason. As described by Anthony from Expected Buffalo, the Buffalo Sabres must do one of these two things. One being trading Ristolainen, like I just mentioned, for a return that is better than Will Borgen if Will Borgen gets taken by the Kraken in this draft. Or the second thing that could happen is that the Buffalo Sabres make a side deal with the Seattle Kraken, which ensures that they do not take Will Borgen in the expansion draft, potentially taking Colin Miller or Zemgus Girgensons instead. So like I said, as of right now, I'm not upset with how things have played out because I'm under the assumption that one of those two things is going to happen. If neither of those things happen, if Will Borgen gets drafted and we don't trade Ristolainen post-expansion, I don't even want to know how I'm going to feel at that point. That would be just ultimate Sabres F up right there. Also, just as a quick side note, the Buffalo Sabres did protect Linus Ullmark, who is an unrestricted free agent. Apparently, there are rumors floating around that say that there is mutual interest between the hockey club and Linus Ullmark and potentially coming to a deal. So maybe that can happen. Maybe that's something we can be looking forward to. That would certainly be an ideal situation, wouldn't it? But anyway, hopefully this all goes to plan. Hopefully the Sabres don't botch this. I'm going to have hope since they played out the Jeff Skinner no move clause situation correctly. I'm going to have hope for the near future as well. But at the end of the day, we are the Buffalo Sabres. I'm not going to expect the sensible to happen. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Time will tell the tale. As far as the rest of the NHL goes, there were a bunch of trades that happened right before the expansion freeze. Some trades that included up to 3 teams and other trades that included sending Andrew Ladd and 3 picks over to the Coyotes for nothing but cap space. Some interesting trades definitely went down and the Sabres got to sit on the sideline for all of them. Regardless, the Kraken do have a pretty damn good selection to choose from out of all these players from these different available lists. They are going to be a good team right off the bat. I expect them to be playoff bound at least next season. They're going to be good. There also were some other very interesting protection lists that were released today, including the Montreal Canadiens, who decided not to protect Carey Price simply because of that hefty price tag that he carries with him. See what I did there? But will Carey Price's hefty contract be enough to deter the Seattle Kraken from from taking him from the Montreal Canadiens. On one side with Carey Price, we have a guy that's coming with a massive contract. We have a guy that's getting older. We have a guy that has been very inconsistent in the regular season. But on the other side with Carey Price, you're getting a guy that is just a stud in the playoffs, and he's shown that year after year. So it's an interesting game that the Canadiens are playing with the Kraken surrounding Carey Price. It'll be interesting to see if they end up taking it. Personally, just to put my 2 cents in on the situation, I look at a team that just expanded, being the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They've only been in the league for 3 or 4 years now, and they've had a ton of success. That Golden Knights roster is solid from front to back. They have a solid front six. They have good depth. They have fantastic defensive depth as well. They have some top defensive pairings. That team is good from front to back, but most importantly, they have the guy that holds it down for them the most, being Marc-Andre Fleury. In my personal opinion, which is an opinion that is shared by many people, the expansion draft is very favorable for the team expanding into the NHL. It is kind of easy for them, if we're being honest here. Just looking at the options that the Kraken have on the offensive and defensive side of the ice, they shouldn't have that much of a problem fielding a relatively decent team. Like, they have some damn good options out there. But the very best way to screw up a very solid lineup is to have inconsistent goaltending. If your goaltending situation is a major question mark, that could throw your team off completely. You can build a very solid lineup in front of your goaltender, but if you have an inconsistent goaltender in the crease, it could screw everything up. And for an expansion team, that could be the end-all be-all. For the Las Vegas Golden Knights, they built that solid front lineup, and they also got that solid goaltender in Marc-Andre Fleury. I think that goaltender piece is extremely important in having immediate success. If the Seattle Kraken decide to go with somebody that is not Carey Price, they could have some major question marks, some major inconsistency issues with their goaltending position throughout the season. Going with a guy like Carey Price, you know what you got, right? You know you have a stud. You know you have your back end set. Carey Price is going to carry you through games that he has to, especially in the playoffs. Carey Price is that guy. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And either way, whether or not they go with Carey Price or go with another set of goalies, it's definitely a roll of the dice regardless. The way I see it, I think the Kraken are going to be good no matter what right off the bat. I think what makes the difference between them being good and them being Stanley Cup bound is their goaltending. And I think Carey Price could ensure that they have a solid shot at going at the cup right off the bat. And I understand that Carey Price comes with a lot of baggage, and taking him might sound ludicrous, but I truly think that the Kraken are going to have a solid shot right off the rip, just like the Las Vegas Golden Knights did. So why not take the best shot you can in taking Carey Price? That's the way I see it. It's most certainly a risk, and I think it's a risk worth taking. Whether or not you agree with me is another story, but that's just my 2 cents on that situation. I also just wanted to quickly make fun of the Nashville Predators for deciding to protect 8 forwards / defensemen with the goalie instead of just the 7-3-1 option, which is 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goalie. You literally miss out on 2 extra protections by going with 8-1, but they decided to go that route because they protected 5 defensemen. Leaving available Ryan Johansson as well as Matt Duchene, I don't know what that team's doing. I just wanted to make fun of them. Any team that went with the 8-1 option should absolutely be forced to relocate, because that option is just makes absolutely no sense. But apparently the Nashville Predators thought it did. They deserve to be laughed at, let's be honest. But the expansion draft is Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I am looking forward to it. Leave any of your thoughts that you might have about the expansion draft, any thoughts you might have about the video down in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to see it all go down. But if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you did, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I would appreciate that. If you want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I would appreciate that as well. I'm a part of the Built-in Buffalo content creation team. If you enjoy Buffalo Bills content, be sure to follow and subscribe to us on any social medias that you might have, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.